Hey guys, it's Ubiru and welcome back to World of Warships. So today I have a replay sent in by Roberto on estuary domination mode in his Scharnhorst Tier 7 German premium battleship. So I'll quickly tell you a few things about the Scharnhorst Tier 7 battleship. The Scharnhorst is very much like heavy cruisers with her low caliber guns, decent speed and short reload time. So she actually currently has the fastest reload time of all battleships in World of Warships at 20 seconds. But she does have very low caliber guns at only 280mm. So she's carrying 3 main turrets with 3 guns each, so that's 3x3, 9 280mm guns. Now these guns are very powerful, but they're not quite as powerful as the average battleship. As I say, she's more like a heavy cruiser. So she's the same class of ship as the Gneisenau battleship, but with some distinct differences. So the Gneisenau is a very good ship. Big guns, but the Scharnhorst is quite a bit different. So the Scharnhorst has smaller guns, albeit a faster reload time, higher hit points than the Gneisenau at 56,000 as opposed to 50,000. Longer firing range, which is a bit of an odd one considering the lower caliber guns, at 19.9 kilometers without the credit ball upgrades. Faster top speed than the Gneisenau initially, with the basic module of the Gneisenau. With the upgraded module, it's slightly faster, and a much better turning time. So the Scharnhorst turns very quick for a battleship, only 14 seconds rudder shift time, and 800 meters circle radius. So again, very, very good maneuverability overall. So apart from the main differences, here they have the same armor, the same secondary guns, and the same torpedoes, which of course in battleships are quite short range. Overall, she's a beautiful ship with some good capability. So let's get into the replay. So Roberto is firing at this Fiji, 17,000 HP left, 8.5 kilometers away, some damage there, about 2,500 or so. And this replay is all about what happens at the end. I won't spoil it for you, but this ending is fantastic. So shots taken there, high explosive damage, not too much from the smoke over there. So one of the big ships in the corner. So the Gneisenau and the Scharnhorst are really powerful when it comes to brawling. Of course, brawling with battleships is mostly suicide if the enemy battleship has some torpedoes, but the secondary armament of the ship is fantastic. So the enemy Scharnhorst is there, 10.8 kilometers away, full HP. Going to get the guns round at some point to wait for the rock. These guns don't have a very large firing arc, but they do have quite a good velocity. So it will take some time to get around this island. Still playing quite careful though, because the smoke's still there. He's not 100% sure what kind of ships are in the area. Kirov has now spotted, firing some shots into the back of the Kirov. Armor piercing isn't really expected to penetrate from this angle. Of course, high explosive would have been better, but 20-second reload is still quite substantial. He wouldn't have been able to get a shot in had he reloaded first. So some shots are coming out of the smoke there. Now this replay does start off quite slow, but it does get very good towards the middle and the end. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So incapacitated the destroyer there. As you can see, 1 penetration with full damage, which is quite odd for a destroyer penetration. Usually it goes straight through with very minimal or no damage at all. Krivov is still there in the background. The Mahan has fairly short-range torpedoes. Some shots going in there, but he's playing like Neo. The Mahan managed to avoid all the shots. These shots of the Scharnhorst, they're not the most accurate, so that you're not really expected to hit every time. So an allied ship has been destroyed there. The Scharnhorst is pushing on the left-hand side. The Kirov is backing away. The Mahan is still out of range, I believe, of its main torpedoes. But the real point here for Roberto is to try and capture the A point. Now, the enemy has 3 cap points, and their team only has 1 at the moment. And, they're losing ships a bit more. Some HE going in there, missed a little bit. When destroyers are angled like this, it can be quite tough to hit them accurately at all, especially in a ship as big as this. So now he's invisible. He's gone away from detectability range. The Kirov is still there, however. Going to get some shots in soon with high explosive rounds. First salvo's going in to the side of the Kirov. Oh, some damage there. 1,000 destroyed, some anti-air capability, but it's quite negligible. There's hardly any planes in this battle anyway. So the back shots are ready to fire, the back guns. Wait for him to straighten up, level the shot. Shots going in. and hit him in the centre there for 3,200, and a Citadel hit there, so maximum damage, incapacitated him there, destroyed his engine, or damaged it rather, so he can no longer move very fast, but he did set Roberto on fire. The Scharnhorst is there now on his left-hand side. He's fortunately not focusing on Roberto, which is a handy thing, because Roberto needs to cap this A point. Kirov, with its engines destroyed, did fire off some torpedoes, or perhaps that was the Mahan. Easily avoided anyway, not a problem at all. Just taking some damage there, probably from the Scharnhorst before he evaded that rock. So the Kirov is now hiding behind the rock there. It seems like he did repair his damaged engine. So now he's out of firing range and arc of Roberto's guns. Roberto's now been detected, so the destroyer is still within relatively close distance. He's out of his detectability range, so we can't see him from here. So the only person really for Roberto to shoot at now is the enemy Scharnhorst. Now the Scharnhorst guns are facing away at the moment at least. Armor piercing is loaded, and the Scharnhorst doesn't have the best arm in the world. First salvo was probably, because the Scharnhorst is not moving at all, probably a bit too far forward, but never mind. So as I was saying, the Scharnhorst doesn't have a lot of armor, and with a full penetration on one side from most battleship main caliber guns in the game, can do an awful lot of damage and penetrate very, very easily. So the Scharnhorst only has around 305mm of armor. Oh, big hit there. 13,000 damage from the enemy Scharnhorst. Shots going in there for 4,000, not too much really. Reloading now to high explosive instead of armor piercing, get more consistent damage as opposed to potential bounces. The Scharnhorst is now firing at a different ally, which is handy in this respect. High explosive going to the side of the Scharnhorst. Some damage there. Ooh, about 3,000, and set him on fire. So fire damage is a big point of this battle, but yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. So the Mahan is now 7.2 kilometers away, pushing his maximum distance and hiding behind the rock. So the Kirov is still there, firing shots at Roberto's ally. So the Congo has gone a bit too far forward next to the Scharnhorst, and for the Congos and many other battleships in the game, you have to be so careful about facing up against these German battleships, because they, their torpedo capability is fantastic, and they actually have it. The Congos don't have it, and in that respect, they're at a huge disadvantage. So the Scharnhorst is taking a lot of fire damage and just general damage in total. Allies from the left shooting him, finishing him off. Easy kill there. So the Congo actually got the final hit there. The Kirov is still there, and the Mahan is definitely there as well. So the Mahan is playing very careful. Mahan is the last destroying enemy team. They have 4 big battleships left, but the Mahan is, in this scenario, the best thing for the Mahan to do is to sort of hide behind cover and push corners with torpedoes if necessary. So the allied Congo is nearly dead. There's the Mahan. You can guarantee he's fired some torpedoes off, firing some armor piercing. He didn't reload high explosive. He was thinking of firing at the Kirov instead. Missed those shots. Now the torpedoes will surely come from the middle there. The Congo on the left-hand side is only 96 HP, so I don't know what he's quite thinking about really. He's so close to death. He's pushing the rock to try, I guess, to try and save himself. The Kirov is pushing a bit to the right. I'm not sure why. Kirov has such an advantage here in taking out the enemy Congo, but Roberto has clocked on that the Kirov has probably pushed this direction, and he's going to fire a couple of salvos of torpedoes, or moreover 1 salvo of 3, to try and kill the Kirov, or perhaps the Mahan when they peek round the corner. So there's the Mahan, 4.3 kilometers away, so he's within, well, easily within torpedo range. So the torpedoes are going in. There we go, 2 hits, devastating strike, and finished off the Kirov. So shots going into the Mahan. 3,000 damage with armor piercing. High explosive is now reloading. Double strike, secondary armament, finished him off, killed the Mahan. So if you look at the map, this looks like a good game so far for Roberto's team. Most of which are his ships are alive, and enemies mostly have battleships alive. So at this point in the match, Roberto has the advantage. A lot of his ships are relatively low, but they have a numerical superiority here. The only problem is they don't have enough caps. So there are 3 enemy caps and 1 allied cap. One of the enemy caps is being capped by an ally, however. So the problem here is the cap is 700 for the enemy team and 600 for their team. And Roberto really needs to move into the C cap or the B cap potentially and try to cap, or at least destroy enemy ships to reduce the cap to have any chance of winning this game. And this ship, the Scharnhorst is quite quick, 30 knots, but, it's not quite as quick as some of the top destroyers, going 40 knots, which what this team really needs is someone to push one of the caps and quickly cap as quickly as possible. So there are currently no enemies visible. There are one potentially visible on the map. You can see on the bottom there, just lower than C. There's one there which Roberto needs to kill in order to preserve this game. So Cyclone is now active, probably active a few moments ago, which does reduce the visibility range of all ships. I believe it is 8 kilometers, and that really limits the visibility of these bigger ships. It gives the smaller ships a huge advantage, but fortunately, Roberto just killed their enemy's last destroyer, so there's no problems there. Now, Roberto's aiming in the direction of where the enemies are, just below than C. There are 2 battleships there. He needs to try and get within range, but it's 8 kilometers spotting range with the Cyclone, so he needs to get and fire at these enemies. He's telling his team to capture something. The Allied destroyer has moved out of the cap circles, no longer capping D, so that gives his team a bigger disadvantage. So now 820 points, so it's getting very close now. There's a cruiser, the Budonoi, 7,500 HP left. Firing torpedoes a start, 6 kilometers maximum distance torpedoes, 5.7 kilometers away. Going to get shots into the side here with high explosive to start. Aiming with armor piercing afterwards, 1,500. It's not enough though. Sent him on fire, but he hasn't done enough damage to finish him off. It's getting very close. The enemy team could easily just kill a couple of ships and win instantly. But, Roberto needs to kill the ship as quickly as possible. He's fired the torpedoes. I don't know if the Budenoi's seen them yet. Some secondary armament is going active, shooting him in the side there. 2,500, 750 HP left. He's moving. He's avoided the torpedoes completely. Only 750 HP left. 970 points right now. They've just killed 2 ships. He needs to kill this ship off now. Otherwise, there's no chance of getting back in this game. Secondary armament is missed. Shots going to the back and finished him off. And that savors the cap for another 40 points or so he can try and kill another ship. So the Gneisenau is over there with the New York. The New York needs to kill the Gneisenau to have any chance in preserving the cap and potentially having something out of this game. They're so close, and the Gneisenau is incredibly low, and Roberto can't quite get the angle. As I said, these ships don't have a very good arc. They have a very good velocity, but the arc of these guns will not reach over this rock to kill the Gneisenau. So the New York needs to turn broadside onto the Gneisenau and just sacrifice everything to finish him off. 962 points now. Fortunately, Allies are capping some points. We have B, which is being capped right now, and Roberto is moving towards C. The Gneisenau is still alive, 970 points, so they're getting 4 points every few seconds. There's the New York, 21,000 HP, 5.7 kilometers away, within secondary armament range. High explosive shots going in, only 3,000 damage. The New York needs to do something quick. 982 points, so he's out of range of torpedoes. Ooh, he's still reloading, 7 seconds left. 986. The Gneisenau needs to die. The Gneisenau is now destroyed. The New York has done his job. So the enemy New York is there. Shots going to the sides. He needs to finish this guy off soon. He's only sort of saved the cap for a few moments. 4,000 damage. Secondary armament is firing. Some torpedoes going his way. 920 points. So now the Allied New York has been destroyed by the torpedoes from the Gneisenau. So we're back to square one. 920 points. We're still capping the C while Roberto's doing that now, while still trying to kill the New York. Some secondary armament still firing at this New York. Sava going in 1 second, firing shots into underneath the turret, miss most of the damage, 3,000 damage, miss the torpedoes. So the torpedoes haven't hit the target. And as you see the points at the top there, 956 points, set him on fire again. This isn't looking good. So Roberto is still pushing towards this New York. The New York doesn't have torpedoes. So at this point, he's not being risky. He's playing well. So shots going to the center, underneath the turret, 7,500 damage. Hit the target again with secondary armament. Torpedoes going to the back. The New York's reversing, set him on fire. 964 points. So at the moment, it's going okay. 3,000 HP left. Allies are trying to help him in some respect, and the Ally finished him off. So the torpedoes nearly got him at the end there, but, Roberto did fantastic in trying to save the cap and kill this ship. But even in this current stance, the enemy has an advantage. So only 80 points or so until the enemy has finished the game. They still have 1 cap, and Roberto is trying to decap C so they can't get the benefit of the cap points. There's only 1 enemy ship left, and that is the enemy Congo. So all the Congo needs to do really is play safe, go north, hide away from the other ships, potentially hide behind a rock for about a minute or so, and the game is over. But that's not what the Congo does. The Congo decides to fire at Roberto. So 15 kilometers away, 22,000 HP left. Still they have the advantage, but Roberto's team is capping these points. They're doing well in recapping. High explosive going into the front of the Congo. Bad angle, but some shots anyway. Shots going into the middle there, 1,500. Captured C. So this is a very important point. So the D is still active. They need to kill the Congo or do some damage to the Congo in having potentially killing him before the end of the match. That's the only way of winning the game, or an allied ship capping D. Firing high explosive into the side of the Congo, full salvo this time. Shots going in, set him on fire, just behind the rock. Very lucky there. Missed the torpedoes, set him on fire. That is crucial. So you might have seen a moment ago that he did hit the damage control party, or at least his fire went out the enemy Congo. And now we just sit and wait. We don't know if the damage control party was still up. We don't know if he'd taken flooding damage. We at this point, for Roberto, it's game over. You know, he's lost. Ally is too far away from D. The enemy Congo hit and destroyed the allied ship, so there's no way of getting anywhere near D to decap before the end of the game. 991 points. The Congo is still alive on the other side of the map. Get in D quick. That's what Roberto says. Only a few moments left. 5 points left. 1 point left. Destroyed. So in the last 2 seconds of this match, the Congo, having rushed and pushed in towards allied ships, has sacrificed the game. The last salvo of Roberto has set the target on fire, has set the Congo on fire, and of course after the damage control party of the Congo has run out, he can't extinguish the fire, and the fire damage will continue. So excellent game by Roberto there. Truly victory from the jaws of defeat. 1 point remaining, 2 seconds away from complete loss, and the Congo threw it all away. So well done, Roberto. So a sudden victory by Roberto on his Scharnhorst Tier 7 German battleship. Not too much damage, but this game wasn't about damage, it was about a big surprise at the end, and what a surprise it was. About 90,000 damage, 63 hits, 4 ships destroyed in the end, and accumulated about 40 secondary armament hits, which is quite considerable in this game. So as you can see, Roberto was on top with 4 kills, 2 planes shot down, and 1.8 thousand base experience with double strike achievements, close quarters expert, and devastating strike. And here are some of the damage stats, including the torpedo kill on the Kirov, the ending high explosive kill on the Congo, along with the Mahan and the Budanoy. And there's the confirmation that the Congo was killed by Roberto with his fire damage. So 20,000 damage accumulated overall in terms of fire, and 8.5 thousand damage of fire damage on this Congo. So excellent last minute high explosive shot by Roberto, and it truly did save the day. So well done. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And thank you so much for Roberto for sending his replay in to me. Of course, if you want to send your replay in for me to have a look at, by all means send it in to ubiru0@gmail.com. That is, of course, in my description. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.